Anyone else here that Justin Timberlake was arrested for DUI and refusal to submit to a chemical test? Want to know what's going on from a criminal defense attorney's perspective? I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about Justin Timberlake's criminal charges in the Hamptons. Hi, I'm Daniel M. Rosenberg. I'm a criminal defense attorney and the founding partner of Rosenberg, Parent Associates. And as criminal defense attorneys here at the firm, we regularly represent individuals charged with DUI and refusal to submit to a chemical test. A lot of people have asked me already, hey, what's going to happen to Justin Timberlake? What's going on? Well, let me tell you everything you need to know. So first thing is, what's happening? Well, what's happening is he was arrested for suspicion of DUI on Tuesday, June 18th, 2024 in Sag Harbor, which is a section of the Hamptons. It's a very affluent area. Justin Timberlake is alleged to have been driving at approximately 12:30, 12:40 in the morning, and he failed to completely stop at a stop sign and then was swerving. There's some video of him driving his car, but doesn't really show too much of the swerving. Once he was pulled over, he was asked out of the vehicle and required to perform field sobriety tests. He allegedly failed those field sobriety tests and was taken into custody for suspicion of DUI. Something that I find interesting in this is that the officer who was arresting Justin Timberlake had no idea who Justin Timberlake was. Didn't recognize his face, didn't recognize his name. And in fact, Justin Timberlake allegedly said under his breath during this arrest, "This is really going to ruin the tour." And in response, the officer said, "What tour?" Justin Timberlake says, "The world tour." And the officer says, "Crimea River." Everything except Crimea River is accurate, but I thought it would be absolutely hilarious if the officer said that in response. But I digress. Justin Timberlake is then taken back to the police station and cooperates in all respects with the exception of taking a chemical breath test. He is asked to take a breath test and he refuses. As a result, he is charged with refusing to submit to a chemical test. According to the complaint, it was, quote, ascertained that the defendant was operating said vehicle in an intoxicated condition, in that his eyes were bloodshot and glassy, a strong odor of alcohol was emanating from his breath, and he was unable to divide attention. He had slowed speech, he was unsteady afoot, and he performed poorly on all standard field sobriety tests. Justin Timberlake allegedly indicated that he had one martini at a restaurant and was following a friend home. Justin Timberlake was then arraigned and released without having to post bail. That is referred to as ROR, released on your own recognizance. Now that we know what the allegations are, let's view this from the perspective of a criminal defense attorney. First question I have is, did they lawfully have a reason to stop Justin Timberlake? Because if they didn't, all of these charges go away. And that's because you're not allowed to illegally stop motor vehicles. If you do, there's no way you can take that back. So what the law does is it suppresses or removes all of the evidence. So if it's determined that there was an illegal stop, his arrest and any subsequent evidence that's found would be suppressed. I don't believe that Justin Timberlake is going to have that as a viable option, and that's because he is alleged to have blown through a stop sign or not stopped at a stop sign and failed to maintain lane. That is a justification for a law enforcement officer to effectuate a motor vehicle stop. The next question is, did they have the right to ask him out of the vehicle and make him perform field sobriety tests? So again, viewing this through the prism of New Jersey case law, I can tell you that for just about any reason, a law enforcement officer can ask you out of the vehicle, and especially in a case where they have the odor of alcohol emanating from an individual's breath, these sorts of indicia of intoxication are called reasonable suspicion. And there's reasonable suspicion to believe that he was intoxicated, which allows the officer to then further his investigation, which at this phase is to perform field sobriety tests. Justin Timberlake got out of the car, performed those field sobriety tests, and it is alleged that he didn't pass them. So after you allegedly fail the field sobriety test, then you are arrested for suspicion of DUI. The next step is you're brought down to the police station, you're asked to provide a breath sample or a chemical test. I can't tell you what the laws are in New York, but I can tell you in New Jersey, he absolutely would have to provide a breath sample. And that's under the New Jersey implied consent law. When it comes to a refusal, the only thing the state needs to establish is, number one, is there reasonable suspicion to believe that you're under the influence of alcohol? If so, we're allowed to ask you to provide a breath sample. Number two, did you refuse? Number three, did the state provide you with a statement telling you that if you refused, you can be charged with refusal? If they prove those three things, you're guilty of refusal. And the penalties for refusal in New Jersey are remarkably similar to a first offense DUI. What's this all mean? You're better off providing a breath sample because we as defense attorneys have more to argue against the prosecution of a DUI than a refusal. What do I mean by that? In a DUI, you need to establish that you were operating a motor vehicle, that you were under the influence of alcohol, that if you provided a breath sample, that breath machine was in proper working order, that the officer's certifications were in effect, that they monitored you for at least a 20-minute period before you provided a breath sample, that they changed the mouthpiece on the breath machine, and these are just a few things that need to be done in order for that reading to be valid. So when all the smoke clears, Justin Timberlake is going to have to defend not only a DUI, but the refusal, and he's got his work cut out for him. So at this point, Justin Timberlake is scheduled to go to court on or about July 26th, and he'll start defending his case. I think over time, we're going to find out what happens, and we'll be following it to provide updates as they develop. So if you or someone you know has been charged with DUI in New Jersey, please contact our office. We're happy to help in any way we can. We'll set up an appointment so we can discuss your case and give you blunt and candid advice. And if you like the contents of this video, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if there's a subject you'd like to learn more about, please contact our office or leave a comment below. We are criminal trial lawyers. We have your back. That's what we do.